Hello everybody. In this screencast we're going to look at how to solve this assessment which focuses on Firebase. So you are provided with a skeleton file that implements already Firebase integration, all the libraries are included, the authentication is included, all the flow from the different fragments is included. Also the layouts are included, the adapters are included. Basically it's a shopping list application where users create a shopping list and then they are able to add. So they are able to create a shopping list, they're able to list these shopping list, and inside the shopping list you can add items to the shopping list. Okay, so let's see. And this project focuses on Firebase collections and Firebase sub collections, so how to do that and so on. All right, so I already added my JSON file. The JSON file for the application is already added. I can log in, so this is already implemented in the skeleton file that is provided. I think I have this user that I added. Okay, so now login, and I'm logged in. Okay, good. So now if you look at the rubric here, it tells you to go and do part 2, creating a new list. Why? We just want to create a new list first. So creating a new list, clicking submit so basically you click here and you type in the name and you submit, and basically it's asking you to store the name, the owner ID, and the document ID. Okay, cool. So I copied that, and basically if you look at why does it ask you to do that, if you look at the models, the shopping list has the name, the owner ID, and the document ID. That's what we would like to store. Okay, good. So let's go to the create list fragment. Here it is. And in the create list fragment, this is when you are going to store it. Let's get the Firebase Auth and the DB. Firebase Auth, call it mauth equals Firebase Auth instance, and the DB also is here. I have GitHub Copilot activated, that's why it's doing these recommendations here. Cool. So now I'd like to create a hash map and store data in it. You see here it seems that it can figure that out automatically, but let me disable the completions here. Hash map string and object data equal new hash map. So here's the hash map, and basically we also need a data we need a document reference. Doc ref equals db dot and collection, and let's call it shopping lists. All right, document. So I want to add a document to the shopping lists, and in the data we're going to put some stuff here. We want to put, based on what we mentioned, we want to put what? So if we go back and paste, we want to put the name. We're going to put the name, right? Whatever the name of the list is, and the owner ID and the document ID. All right, cool. So now the name here is the list name. Here it is. The owner ID is mauth.get current user.get UID. The document ID will get it from the document reference .get ID. So I have all the data included here. Now I can just store it. So basically I see document reference document reference .set data .set add on complete listener new on complete listener. Cool. So that's this, and then basically here I check to see if the task is successful or successful, and then else do a toast here, get activity, and then here task.get exception .get message. All right, so here it is, and now here we just do listener done. So basically that takes care of all of this. Is already done. The listeners are already in place, the activity implements them, and so on. So basically that this is how we're going to store. All right, so now let's run it. Look at Firebase. Also have Firebase ready. Where is the FireStore database? Okay, here we are, and create a new list. I'll go here and say party list, click submit, and it did something. Go here, and I'm gonna add for example the birthday list. So these are like shopping lists. Cool. So we go back here, I refresh Firebase, and here they are. I have the birthday list. You see the document ID matches document ID and the owner ID, and similarly the owner ID, party list, and the document ID. Perfect. So I have the shopping lists done. So now I think the next stage is to do the snapshot listener for the shopping lists. Cool. So I'm done with this screen. Go back to the project, shopping lists fragment, and basically I'd like to build a so what I'm going to do, let me enable completions for GitHub Copilot. Now I'll go here and I'll add Firebase Auth, auth equals Firebase Auth, and then Firebase. All right, get the DB. Cool. And then I know that I will have a listener registration. Listener registration. Here it is. Okay, snapshot listener. Okay, listener registration dot equals db dot collection, and we want to listen to some. So I don't know. Remember what did we call that collection? So I'll go back to creating a new list, and we call the collection shopping lists. Okay. All right, good. So I'm going to put its shopping lists, not where equals owner ID. Owner ID equals to the current user, right? Current user mauth dot get current user dot user ID. So that's the where clause to do the listener, and then I can just do the tab, add snapshot listener. Amazing. So it did autocomplete a lot of things for me. Add snapshot listener. This is the error case. There's a shopping list here that we're going to use. And basically, I'm not going to do all of that like this. I'm just going to do, I'm not also going to do it like this. So let me remove this. So that's why you see the autocomplete doesn't always give you what you want. So I'll remove this. I'll do add snapshot listener, new snapshot listener. Here we are. And then I can do the error case. So for example, if error is not equal to null, then we're going to show some message. And let's do something else here. So basically, if the error is not equal to null, let's do a toast dot get activity, and then basically I'm going to just say error dot get message just to show what's going on. Now here you have the data. So what we would like to do is we clear the list. So there is a shopping lists dot remove or clear that clears everything. And I know that at the end I'll do adapter notify data has changed, right? So now here I do the for loop for each query snapshot document as the document from the value. All right, so here we are, options, enter, import, and then basically here is the shopping list. So there is already a class that I could use, shopping list, which has the same variable names. That's what I would like to use. Shopping list equals document dot to object from shopping list dot class. Here we are, and then shopping lists dot add shopping list to it, and we're good to go here. So we added it to the lists, notify the adapter, and now also I will do the same thing for deregistering the snapshot listener on the destroy view. Check to see if this is not equal to null. Then we'll do listener registration dot remove, and then listener registration will make it equal to null. Okay, cool. So that's this. Now when we run, we should see the two lists that we created. Here are the two lists we created. Of course, the snapshot list, the recycler is already wired to use the list of shopping lists. And here we are. So now we can click on a list. Now it takes you to the next screen. So this means that when you click on a list, the actual list is being sent to the next screen that you see the title is showing here. All right, cool. So now let's go and implement add new item. So basically add new item is when we're adding an item to the list. Cool. So now when we're adding an item to the list, what we would like to do is, so this is one shopping list. We will create a collection under that list. So basically we'll create a collection, call it items, and then these items will land into that collection. Cool. So now when we're creating a new one, you see here, you are already getting a shopping list. You see, you get the shopping list here. And now basically all of this code is just the layout code, because when you add a new item, it looks like this, right? Now what we'd like to do is we'd like to store the data, and the data here is the shopping list item has this information. It has a name, a document ID, and a quantity. Cool. So now we close this. I'll just make a comment here. Here's what we'd like to store. And then basically I'll do the same thing. Let's enable auto completion. Okay, so here is Firebase Auth, Firebase FireStore, DB equal to this, Firebase Auth, mauth. All right, here we are. So we have the authentication. I don't think we'll need the authentication in this screen, so maybe we can keep it. Let's see if we're gonna need it or no. No. Basically, let me go to the shopping lists, and I want this information here. Okay, so basically, I know that this is where I'm going to store data right here, and then I know the document that represents this shopping list, right? So I have the document. I need the document ID. So basically, I'll do m shopping list dot get document ID. So I am where I am here. So basically, I'm from here. I am here. I am inside the document, and inside the document, I want to create a new collection. That collection is going to be, I'll call it document. I'll call it, it's a collection. I'll call it, say, items. Okay, items, something like that. Cool. And then inside that items, I create a document, right? And basically, this becomes my document reference. Docref equal to this, and that becomes my document reference. So if it helps, I'm gonna do it like this. I'll say db.collection, and then this is the document. Inside the document, we create a collection, and inside that collection, creating a new document. Cool. So we have that. Now we do our hash map. So I don't need the autocomplete now. Just keeps on typing stuff. Hash map, string, object. Here it is, and data equal new hash map. So I have the hash map, data dot put, same story, key and value. We did this before when we created a list, but all right, 3 items, the name, the document ID, and the quantity. Notice that the quantity is an integer. All right, so this is the quantity, and the name is going to be name, and the quantity already is the quantity. Oops, the quantity is the quantity, so I'm just going to put it the quantity here, and then the document ID is docref.getID. Get ID. All right, so I have the data ready to be stored. I already have the document reference. I'll do docref dot set to data dot add on complete listener, new on complete listener. We wrote the same code before, but here we are. So now we check to see if task is successful. Then we do mListener dot we are done, else do a toast get activity, and we do task dot get exception dot get message. All right, cool. So we're good here. We're gonna create the item. We run this, and let's see what happens. So let's pick, for example, let's say the birthday party list, add an item to it. We'll say, for example, cups, 10 cups, and add another item, let's say plates. Let's make it, let's say, for example, 16 plates. Now let's go back to Firebase, and this is the party list. So birthday party, the one we picked was the birthday party. So here we are, this is the birthday party. You see here it is the birthday party, and inside it there is another collection. You see, and it has 2 items. It has the cups and it has the plates. So this is the path, shopping list. You go to your list, and then inside that list there is another collection which has other documents that represents these items. All right, cool. So now we are done with this adding an item to the list. All right, so we're done with that. Now the snapshot listener is very similar to what we did before. You know, the snapshot listener is really similar to what we did before. So where is the snapshot listener? Let's see, in the shopping list fragment. Here it is. And what I'm going to do is, let's enable here and see if this is going to learn something from this. Let's see. Firebase Auth, mauth, Firebase, FireStore, DB. Cool. So I have that. Now I need also the names of the path. So let's go to shopping list, create item. I have the whole path here, so I'm going to copy this from here just to see how I'm going to use this. Cool. So we are here. All right. So now I'm interested in, I am going to create a listener. So listener registration, listener registration, here it is. Okay, cool, here we are. So basically listener registration equals db.collection, and then here is the collection that we're listening to. Now which document we want to go to, I know exactly the document, so I'll go here dot document, and then the document is m shopping list dot get document ID. I have the actual shopping list, so I have its document ID. And then also I am interested in listening to dot collection. Let me disable this, it's too confusing, so disable this. Collection items, right? Dot. Okay, so I already have what I need, I don't need this anymore. Add snapshot listener, new snapshot listener. So here we are, and we can do the same thing. So basically I'm gonna copy the exact same code I had for the shopping lists fragment. I'm just gonna copy this code from here to here, but I will need to change a little bit some things. So here it is, there is nothing called shopping lists, this is gonna be shopping list items, that's what we're looking for. And then this is shopping list item, shopping list item, shopping list item, document from shopping list item. All right, cool. So that's the snapshot listener, right? And then basically we do notify data has changed, we clear the list, and then we'll do the same boilerplate code that we have here to do the on destroy view. If this one is not equal to null, then we'll do listener registration dot remove, and then we set it to equal to null. All right, so we're good here. Okay, cool. So now if we run this, we should be able to see the two items. Here we are. Let's look at the birthday list, and I can see my two items. Cool. So now let's handle the plus and minus clicking. These plus and minus, this is a recycler view. So this plus and minus clicking has to be implemented in the holder, the view holder. So let's go to the view holder and have a look at the view holder. Cool. So here's the view holder. This is the add, and this is the minus. And you see here also we have the shopping list item. Cool. So now as we have the shopping list item, we can go directly to the shopping list item by just doing this. So basically what I could do is I could do something like this. Take me to the shopping list item, document, and then here is shopping list item dot get document ID. So basically now I am at that shopping list item, the actual specific shopping list item that this row represents. Now I will do update. What I would like to update is the quantity, and I would like to increment it. So field, remember we used field value before for the field value before we used it for the timestamp, right? So field value dot there is increment. You tell it how much you want to increment by. I want to increment it by 1. Done. So that's how you increment. So basically let's run this and see. You're just telling it, hey server, whatever the value is, just increment it by 1. Cool. Of what? Of the quantity. Cool. So now let's look at the birthday list. Here are the cups, they went up by 1, and you could see that they are going up by 1 here. See, if you look here on Firebase, it's being updated. I clicked, now it's 13, and it's being displayed here 13. Notice that I'm not even changing the layout. You know, when I'm clicking, it changes it on Firebase, and it does the incrementing on Firebase, and then this triggers the snapshot listener. The snapshot listener reloads the list to display the new value, right? See, here it is. The decrementing is a little bit tricky. Decrementing is basically you need to when you click, it goes down by 1, and when the value is already 1, then you just delete the whole row. Okay, cool. So now what we would like to do is to check to see if shopping list item get quantity is greater than 1, right? So if it's greater than 1, then we're just going to decrement, else we're going to delete the row. So basically if it's greater than 1, what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and then basically let's see, is there a decrement? There is no decrement, but there is an increment. So basically increment by -1. So that's the decrementing side. Now the deleting side is very easy. All we have to do is take this, the path to it, and just do delete. Right? So if it's greater than 1, we decrement, otherwise we delete. Cool. So let's run it and see. Okay. So birthday list, you click minus, minus. It's updating on Firebase. Okay, so I'm clicking, and then it's 1 now. When I click, it should delete it. It got deleted. Plus, minus, and similarly this one is also, I can delete it, same thing. So if I go here, it gets deleted. Add new item, let's say cups. Add another item, let's say plates, and here we are. So I added these items, may get more cups, get more plates, and we're good to go. So the plus and minus are done. So that completes this assignment. The assignment has one bonus point, which is implementing the delete. The only challenge with implementing the delete of the shopping list itself is that because of the presence of these sub collections, so basically you see here the birthday list has a sub collection under it. In order to delete the birthday document altogether, you have to first delete all the documents under the corresponding sub collections. You know, all the sub collections, you have to go in and delete all their children, and then you can delete the parent document. So now we'll look at how to do that now. So where is this? This is in the shopping list fragment. Here we are. All right, here we are. And also shopping lists fragment. Okay. And this is going to be in the view holder because this is a button inside the row, right? The row item. So here is the delete. So basically what we'd like to do is first get all the values, get all the the children. All right. So now to get the children, I need to do this. Let me just copy this. I'll need this in a little bit, right? So we have DB already. So let's get all the children. So we see DB.collection, and this is the shopping list. So let's see, shopping lists. Here it is. Okay. Document. What are we interested in? This document. So M shopping list dot get document ID. So that's the shopping list, right? And then dot items dot collection. It's called items, right? Dot get dot add on complete listener new on complete list. So basically here we are getting the items, right? All the sub collection. If the task is complete, is successful, else, and so on. So basically here we are getting the doc. You create an array list of shopping list items. Items equal new array list. So that's the array list of items, right? And then we just have to parse it. So basically we do for each query document reference, document task dot get result, right? So that's this, and then basically we'll do the same thing. So shopping list item equal to document dot to object from shopping list item dot class, and then items dot add the item. Cool. So here we are. So now by this we have the item, right? We have all the items that are under here. We have these, now I would like to delete them. So basically what I would like to do is I have to delete them one by one. So I'm going to stage it. So basically I'm going to chain these deletes, and when they're all deleted, then I will delete the parent object, which is the shopping list. All right. So now let's see how to delete. So basically what I'm going to do is inside the view holder, I'll create a method, public void delete first item, gets an array list of, let's say, items. Here it is. It's going to be get an array list of items, and it's going to pick the first one and delete it. So basically after we are done here, I'm just going to delete the first item and send it the list of items. Okay, cool. So I'm going to just send it the list of items. So now when we are here, we just get the first item. We check to see first if items dot size is greater than 0, right? So then we're going to do something else. We're going to do something else. All right. So if it's greater than 0, then get the first item. Okay. So let's get the first item. So here's item equal items dot remove the first one. Here it is, right? and then we're going to delete that item. So to delete the item, we need to go to where the item is. Here it is. This is where the item is. The item is also is a document, so we need to know which document you want to delete. So it's item.get document ID. That's the item itself. .delete .set .add on complete listener, new on complete listener. Cool. And basically what we're going to do here is we're going to call this function again. Here it is, and I'm going to pass it to the items. Cool. So now what is happening is that you delete, you delete, and then when you come back from the delete, you call the delete again. You see here, this remove has shrunk the list by 1, right? Because when you remove one, it returns the item, but it removes one of them. Okay. We call it again, and then when the size is equal to 0, then it's time to delete. Then it's time to delete this one, the actual document itself. .delete. All right. Here it is. This is being chained. Cool. So that's what we're doing here, and let's run it and see if this is going to work. All right, here it is. Let's look at the party list. It's empty. Go back. When I click on the party list, it gets deleted because of the party list. When it goes in, it gets the documents. There is no documents. The list is empty. You call delete first. The delete first comes in here. The list is empty. It just deletes it, right? While if you the birthday list, if you click on the birthday, it has 2 items. So now if we go here, you'll see that it has 2 items. When I click on the delete, let me try to shrink the screen a little bit so that we can bring this here so that you can see them being deleted. Okay. All right, so I click on the birthday list, click back. When I click on the trash can, you see these were deleted first and then everything was deleted. You look at the shopping list. The shopping list is now empty. All right, perfect. So we did chain it. Well, I didn't use a for loop here because I want to chain it. I delete one, wait for it to get deleted. When it's done, then I call the next one. So that's why I created the method, and I'm calling it again, this method again, and this is a recursion, right? And you could see that the exit, the recursion keeps on moving as long as the size is greater than 0, and once the size is not greater than 0, it reaches 0, you are done, and we're not calling it again. All right, so this solves this assignment, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.